Hello everyone, this is Beastly Eel here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the latest episodes of The Bad Batch. Yes, you heard me correctly, I said episodes. So today they actually released, Disney Plus I should say, released two episodes of The Bad Batch, both episode 7 and 8, and the reason for it is very obvious for those of us who have seen it. If you have not seen it, you are missing out big time. So there are going to be spoilers ahead, so if you are not looking forward to spoilers and you want to watch it yourself, please pause the video. You can get back to us once you've finished watching the episode. But before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button over in the corner over here. And at the end of the video, make sure to touch the eel, which will also help you subscribe. But anyway, that being said, let's move right on into this. So, episode 7 starts off right from the get-go with clones drinking at a bar. One clone talking about how messed up it is that the Empire wants to get rid of the clones, and that they're the reason why we are in this mess to begin with, because Kamino was destroyed and everything else, and the home planet of the clones, and it was the Empire that did it, and we destroyed everything, and people need to know. And the clone that he's talking to basically is like, man, you got to be careful. You can't talk like that. Like, people are taken out for this reason. So the guy's like, I don't care. I already took care of it. I already talked to people. And I said to Admiral Rampart that if he doesn't admit what he did, I'll let everyone know. Which, for anybody who's watched any spy movie whatsoever, that was the dumbest thing he could have done. So anyway, he leaves the bar. The other clone goes after him to kind of figure out what the heck is going on. What happens is we see the fact that the clone gets sniped from afar and taken out. The one that was talking a lot in the bar. His friend tried to save him first off, failed, and then escaped on a speeder or some sort of speed bike, flotation bike, whatever you want to call it, and took off, barely making it out. So during this time, we also have the Senate going on, and them wanting to vote on the funds going to the military specifically for new stormtroopers. There is a little blue senator who is refusing and thinking that we need to take care of the clones because they are creatures. They are not robots and droids to be shut down just because we no longer want to use them as military um, personnel, that they need to be treated as living creatures. And the Senate decides that they're going to hold off the vote until further planning is made about the clones and their retirement, which I find so weird. So it's this young senator's responsibility to go to the clones and figure out what they want. So the first thing she does is she goes to the same bar that our little friends were, the ones that, well, they got shot at. One got killed, and the other one, well, he, how do I put this? He barely survived. He did not get hit, but he definitely was hiding. So that being said, we have this little the senator talking to the clones, who at first are PO'd with the fact that the Empire wants to get rid of them, and that they want to keep fighting, and this is what they want, and this is what they need, and they're not going to take that away from them. And she basically tells them the truth. You're not going to be alive forever. So what's going to be your plan? You need to think about your future, and that's what I'm doing. And one of the clones is like, well, we never even had that thought in our heads. And she's basically stating that no, you do need that. Um, so what happens is they pretty much side with her to get the information to her, although we don't actually hear what they want from her, which I think is a very big um, key moment right there, that they don't even show us what the clones want, which is interesting. Or they're just looking to see to get something, and they'll figure it out as time goes on. So while she's getting ready to leave, our clone friend that was shot at earlier in the episode, wants to talk with her and tells her everything. Tells her about how Admiral Rampart um, caused, or I'm sorry, put into place the attack on the cloning planet, excuse me, on the home planet of the clones. And even though they were claiming it to be a storm, it was not a storm. It was actually a military attack on that area, and they were destroyed the entire city. So she's now trying to figure out what needs to be done. She meets with, so she wants to find the clone because the clone leaves. The clone gives her this information, and he's out of there. So what happens is she meets with um, Admiral Rampart, and he's all gun ho about the clones and how they need to be treated better and that they should do something about it. But knowing that it's going to be expensive to have a military, make a new military, and provide funds for all those clones. So they leave, and the we find out that her clone, I'm sorry, her bodyguards are looking for the clone because he's MIA. When she leaves the office of Admiral Rampart is talking to the sniper that was trying to shoot the clones and explaining to him that he needs to find the clone that is mouthing off and, if need be, remove the senator as well. So they finally hunt down the clone, they find him. The clone is called for backup. We are unclear of who it is at the moment. But anyway, as this is going on, they find the clone, they're talking to each other, and that's when the clone gets shot. Um, they go on a rampage. They try to hide the senator. The senator is in hiding. Her guard is shot and I believe killed. It's as unclear if he was killed or not. He was definitely severely injured to the point where he could no longer defend her. And she's inside and she's about to be killed by him when Rex comes in and stuns the assassin. So what happens is Rex takes the body along with the senator to talk with this assassin. They remove the helmet, and it turns out to be a clone. The clone being somebody whose numerical number has been permanently removed from them. So they know nothing about this person, what this clone specifically. They wake up the clone, or the clone wakes up on his own. I'm not quite sure how that works. I'm assuming he woke up on his own. Um, he um, he basically wouldn't give any information, even though he knew who Rex was, and explaining to Rex that he is not on the right side of this fight and that he will lose. And Rex is like, I'm going to keep fighting for what's right, and you're going to tell me everything I need to know right now. And that's when he takes, like, he pulls a cyanide tablet, which is not in realistic in the sense of the show. So they use like this device that electrocutes you to death. Um, he bites down on it, but it's very much like the cyanide pellets that we've heard about in World War II. When you're captured by the enemy, you have to remove yourself, which is just an awful thought to begin with. But so they get no information from them at all, and that, my friend, is how episode 7 ends. And I promise you, I'd be PO'd if I only had episode 7. So episode 8 starts off with Rex calling in a friend, calling in for some backup from um, Squad 99. And they agree to help Rex out. They are given the coordinates and safety measures to make sure that they get onto planet without a problem, which is the head of the heart of the Empire. And so when they get there, Rex explains what has happened with with the senator and the assassin and everything else. So while this is going on, we have General um, Radana. I might be saying his name wrong. I'm gonna feel bad if I do. Leia's adopted father, um, trying to help the senator out without actually helping her out. Like he's not physically doing anything, which I find very weird, but I do get it. But explaining to her that she needs to find where the money went, so that will determine what was going on. So she starts hunting down leads while they ask the Bad Batch to break into Admiral Rampart's ship and steal the log of what happened on that planet. And so they start to split up. Um, Omega stays with the senator, and the rest of the Bad Batch go looking for Rampart's, along with Rex, Rampart's ship to find the log they're looking for. So Omega and the Senator find the former counselor, I'm sorry, the former senator of the clone planet, to get information, and she's basically stating like, yeah, obviously Rampart funded, siphoned the money out to provide funds for his stormtroopers, and he also was the one that, or that she wasn't surprised that the Empire attacked because she wasn't there. But she goes, but nobody's gonna believe her word only because her word alone, she's a disgraced senator, so her word would not mean as much as everyone else's. So they have that as the backup for right now. They are Rampart was not happy to see that the senator was alive, but had to play it off like everything was okay. Um, the Bad Batch get, along with Rex, get into Rampart's ship through the tunnels under the planet, or in the planet, I guess you'd say. They sneak onto the ship with little difficulty. So one of the big things was they used these cargo ships to kind of grab onto so they can go travel without a problem. And so they get onto the main ship and sneak in, get to the command deck, and the biggest problem there is the fact that they can't get any information because the power is not to the command. Well, because it's parked, which is weird when I say that, but it's parked, so they shut everything down because nobody's on it. They're right now staying on planet indefinitely. So Tech is basically explaining to them that, hey, we can do this, but we're going to have a limited time before people start coming up here. And that's when they're like, well, we got to take the risk. So Tech and Echo both hack into the system. While they're hacking into the system, all alarms are going off, so everyone is hunting down for whatever the traitor is um, that broke into the ship. So the big difference here is the stormtroopers are using lethal weapons, where the Bad Batch and Rex are using stuns to stun all the troopers. So they're stunning everyone that comes into contact with them whatsoever, especially they're trying to break into the door. They try to stop it. The door gets opened anyway, and they start stunning people left and right. They get the information they need and they take off. While this is going on, we have the senator in the Senate um, basically already making the accusations that Admiral Rampart is a criminal, he's a liar, he was funneling money without the Senate's approval, and he was the one who ordered an attack on the clone planet and claimed it was a storm. And so he's basically stating Rampart is basically coming from the get go, explaining that there is no way that we are not going to justify these claims with even a response. And it goes on and on and on for a while, and that there is no actual proof. While this is going on, the Bad Batch gets the plans to Omega and one of the senator's bodyguards. They take it to Senator O'Donnell, who then presents it to the Senate, and they see the attack on the planet and knowing that Rampart was responsible. When this happens, this is a very big piece that happens here. We have the Emperor emerge, stating, I am so disheartened by the fact that Admiral Rampart did such a selfish act against this Senate and removes him, arrests him, and claims that this is part of the problem. Clones cannot be trusted because they follow orders even when even though the people are in the wrong. And this is a problem that we need to fix by removing the clones from the army and drafting a new one of people who from all walks of life to join forces. Unfortunately, it played right into Palpatine's hands in the sense that they got what they wanted. The clones were not were basically claimed to be kicked off the military, kicked out of the army, the galactic military or the galactic army. and very clear that Palpatine was like 18 steps ahead. They wanted like he used everything that the Bad Batch did against them, and they basically had to take the L on this one, which does stink. And apparently, Echo decided to stick with Rex to help out the fellow clones, and Omega was very disheartened by this and was sad about all that's going on. And he's like, "I have to help out, and don't worry, it won't be forever. We will see each other again." So, I mean, technically, nobody knows that the Bad Batch still exists. Um, one of the other things is the the Senate, I mean, the Empire is not afraid to blame anybody for their crimes that they've committed. They will use scapegoat after scapegoat after scapegoat, which shouldn't be all that surprising, but it's just, especially with the buildup they had with Admiral Rampart, that they just knocked him down so quickly. And I think that really demonstrates how much the Empire does not care. Um, Meaning, like, you could be loyal to the end, but if you mess up once, they are going to rip you apart in front of everyone to make an example of you. And that was very clear here. I don't know specifically where the rest of the season's gonna go. Um, Mostly due to the fact that these episodes were just so jam-packed with so much information and everything else that there's so much that they need to explore that uh, I'm not even positive where we're going to go. I would imagine that one of the first things that they're going to investigate would be the fact that how did a clone have their identifying numbers removed from them, which is going to be one of the big things, because I feel like the Bad Batch themselves, because Echo and Rex will deal with the Empire, will not directly deal with the Empire right away. That's why they split up from Echo, because if they, I mean, split up with Rex. If they were going to go against the Empire right away, they would have then stayed with Rex to help out. So they're going to be doing something else. I would imagine that would be the first thing that they would investigate. But I'm guessing it's probably going to be a filler episode next, which honestly, after these two episodes, I will not be mad about it because they definitely were good, great episodes. I highly recommend them. But let me know what you guys thought about the two episodes in the comments below. Did you like them? Did you not like them? And why? If you didn't like them, I really think you have. Um, I really think your opinions kind of skewed on this one because I thought these episodes were phenomenal. And as always, if you like the content you see, and I know I've said it multiple times, but make sure you hit the eel in the corner over here to subscribe, so that way you know when I provide new content. And as always, this is Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night.